And welcome to the very first episode of 5 Minute Reviews from the guys who bring you the weekly Modern Meltdown podcast. Now let me explain how this works. We have a timer up here with 5 minutes on the clock. In that 5 minutes, we have to give you a comprehensive movie review detailing plot, characters, as well as our overall impression of the film. So, to start with this week, we're going to be reviewing the Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
Let's get it started.
Okay, so basic superhero plot starts. Bad guy emerges, wants to destroy the world. Our superheroes have to assemble to defeat him.
Yep, pretty much. Iron Man decides to create Ultron because he's just super smart and wants to save the world. But then Ultron comes into his own and decides that the only way to save the world and humanity is to blow them up. Then you get the Avengers come in, take out the comic villain, commence action sequences.
Okay, so the plot sounds very, very simplified, but Joss Whedon has managed to throw in a lot of existential ideas and themes throughout the film, and this gives our characters some really big questions that they have to answer. Now, one thing that the Avengers 1 didn't focus on was the characters of Hawkeye, Black Widow. This time round, Whedon has given a lot more time to those characters, beefing up the roles, and that really helps audiences understand their motivations a lot better.
Yep, and adding on to that, he also added on a hell of a lot of action sequences. They're all paced pretty well throughout the film, and as for the action sequences themselves, I don't think... There were a couple times where I kind of lost what was happening, but for the most part, about 90% of the time, you could follow what was happening, which is a sign of good direction and good editing. Now, my personal favourite action sequence is the one with the Hulk fighting Iron Man in his Hulkbuster armour in the middle of a populated city.
Very cool scene. Now, my only gripe with the film is it is following this cookie-cutter plot of the superhero versus bad guy loses, superheroes win. There are ways to do this plot, make it a little bit different. I've seen this now in the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and now the Avengers 2. This cookie-cutter plot is kind of driving me a little bit crazy. Yeah,
I'm not too bothered by that myself, but since we're in Complaint City, my only gripe with the film was that pretty much every single person is a wisecracking comedian with the comedic timing of the late, great Robin Williams. It kind of makes sense in a way because since the first film, these characters have developed a familiarity and a... Camaraderie, rapport. And, it makes sense in that way, but to the degree that it's done in the film, it kind of breaks my suspension of disbelief. Now, despite that, the actual jokes and wisecracking were all really good. I don't think that there was a single one that it didn't at least give a chuckle to. I'm not going to ruin any of the jokes for you here, but I'll say that the comedy is much more of a focus in the sequel than its predecessor. But Matthew, do you know that it takes the actor's ability in terms of executing those jokes? What did you think about our actors and the ensemble cast?
Okay, there's nothing really that I can add to what hasn't already been spoken about our returning cast. However, what I'm going to focus on here is our brand new actors. Now we have Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Quicksilver and Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Now these two characters are siblings in the film, and so the actors have to portray that, and in my opinion they do that very, very well. And because they portray these characters so well, and their family ties, it helps the audience understand the characters and the motivations a lot better. Now, the two big standouts in this film was James Spader's Ultron and Paul Bettany's Vision. Now, Ultron is unhinged, he doesn't understand the world or the world's motivations, so Spader really has to deliver those lines and really deliver that confusion, which he does beautifully. You completely buy him as the villain, you completely understand his character. Now, Paul Bettany's character of the Vision has to be more of a compassionate observer who understands humanity and its motivations a lot better. Now, Bettany manages to inflect his lines with a sense of wisdom and compassion and understanding, and it just makes it fantastic and so easy for the audience to comprehend.
Yep. How much time do we have left? Oh man, we have less than a minute. Okay, in terms of the pacing was really good. Like I said, with the action sequences, there's the action sequences paced out, and then in between there's moments of drama, moments of comedy. And I didn't have to check my clock once, which is a sign of good pacing in general. And the tone is primarily really light-hearted, with the action sequences bringing up that kind of blockbustery feel. But there are moments in there of drama and kind of sadness that punctuate those kind of moments and adds to the film. Quick, Matt, what's final thoughts?
Okay, final thoughts. Really enjoyed this film. If Cap 2 is a political thriller, then The Avengers Age of Ultron is a rollercoaster ride full of action, fun, comedy, and adventure. Now, everyone needs to go see this film in droves. We need to knock Titanic off its number 2 spot in the box office all time. Now, there are some great moments in there, lots of comic book references, gonna give nerds joygasms the entire film. Thank you very much!
And, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of the social medias. Also, if you're interested in a more in-depth chat about the Avengers 2 from Matt and myself, go to themodernmeltdown.com, and when it goes live, listen to episode 14 of our weekly podcast. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you next time.